Why am I selling my Thousand Trails membership? Oh, look, there's a big turtle, big snapping turtle. There's a gator, and there's another gator, and there's another gator. What this tells me when they're coming over here, oh look, there's another huge. Look how huge that turtle is. What this tells me is people been feeding them. These guys would not be coming over here if they weren't be getting fed. Look at how big that turtle is. That bad boy is 18 inches across. I have loved me some Thousand Trails. And I'm going to tell you all the reasons why I love it. Including this particular park. Look, it's got a fountain. And they just built this deck last year. And by the way, the first video I did pretty much shows you the basic fifth wheels, Class A, Class B, Class C. This is a class all of its own. It's kind of like a tiny house on wheels. I'm not really sure what they call it. They call it a mini loft, according to that. It's a Timberwolf, and it has a built-in deck, and they are beautiful. Up top, there is a loft. So basically, it's a tiny house. Like if you've ever been in a tiny house, that's it. There's a big turtle. Oh, there's a big duck over there. And the reason that the turtles and ducks and gators are out in force is because it's really quiet here today. They're getting ready for the snowbird season. So let's talk. So you might be saying to yourself, Cami has been preaching about Thousand Trails and how awesome Thousand Trails is. And I love me some Thousand Trails. You know, there are lovers and haters of everything. And if you ask enough people, they'll tell you all the problems with Thousand Trails. I would be hard pressed to tell you a couple of bad things about Thousand Trails. Like, for example, their website, after 5 years of using it, you would think that they would put some money into fixing their website so that it's easy for you to go on and change your reservation without having to call somebody. However, the people are so friendly. And when you call, hold on a second, let me get away from the landscapers. You know, it's just like anything else. By the way, they got beautiful bathhouses. I'm actually going to show you the gym and the clubhouse, because the one here is absolutely stunning. So, you know, there's always a way to finagle the bagel. So, when I've ever needed to do a reservation that I couldn't handle online, and I can handle them, but if, like, for example, if I'm scheduled here today and I've got a change of heart and I want to go someplace else, to be able to cancel this reservation and go make another one, you kind of need some help for that. And if you're wanting to schedule, like, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, I've scheduled as many as 8 reservations at a time, and I needed help with that because they can tell you, you know, what's available and all that. They can tell you about that. So, love me some Thousand Trails. Now, I've decided to downsize from a Class C motorhome, and I'm going to show you my motorhome, And I'm going to show you why I highly recommend a Class C. I'll show you all the perks of it. My decision to downsize to a van has nothing to do with this RV, other than the fact that the quality is not really that good as far as the cabinets. The cabinets are paper thin, and don't even get me started about the couch and the seats for the dinette and the seats for the driver's seat. Whoever chose that shit is like tissue paper. And I'll show you what I mean. It is so thin. It is so poor quality. You have to cover your seats. But that's not why I'm downsizing. And I'll get into that in a minute. But here's what I can tell you about Thousand Trails and most RV resorts. Now, state parks are different, because I am going to get a state park membership, and I will stay at some state parks, and I will go do camp hosting. I want to go to Colorado and places like that to do some camp hosting. But when it comes to a nice RV resort like this, I looked on their website, because when it comes to camp life, I have seen some campers here. The very first one I showed you is a Class B. I've seen sprinters. I've seen sprinters with slide outs and awnings, and I mean really fancy $150,000 sprinters. I've seen conversion vans, the kind that were built to be a living arrangement, where you can plug it into the, it's already got a built-in kitchen and bathroom and all that kind of stuff. Well, here's what I learned on the Thousand Trails website. It says the vehicle that you have in the system has to be what they call RVIA certified. And what that basically means is it has been the plumbing, the electricity, the construction of it is fire safe. So even if your brother is an electrician, and even if your van is better wired than some of these RVs, which isn't hard, because there's some really hodgepodge RVs. One second, got dogs. RVIA certified means, and it comes from the factory, it means that it is fire safe. So, it makes sense. They don't want some hodgepodge, do-it-yourself fire hazard. So they have to have some kind of rule. And so RVIA certified. Now, having said that, they've never asked me for my RVIA certification. And most RVs do have a little sticker on the outside about that. And these vans that I do see here, I don't know if they ever ask. And I have been told that it depends on the manager of a park. You can go ask them if your van is okay. Would they actually come out and check it? I don't know. But that's what I know about the RVIA certification. So, next video.